Okay, so I've finally got the Raptor back. Fit and finish is very nice on the steering wheel. And essentially what we're going to do is we're going to put this one down here. I've been hanging just like that. Okay, so I've finally got the Raptor back. I lost the Raptor for close to 2 months. I had a bit of an accident on the highway, and I had some, I don't know if it was a bit of metal or something actually hit the Raptor. So I had to send it in to get insurance done and get the doors repaired and repainted, because it did scratch up the doors pretty bad. So it was at the paint shop for about 4 weeks to get that fixed. And then the month after that, it was booked in with Torque It, because we are developing the new exhaust system for the Raptor. Okay, we're here at the Torque It Performance Center, dropping the Raptor off. Boys have given me a little Jimny to take home. Currently have the prototype fitted up to the car right now. Still keeping it kind of under wraps. We do want to make sure this thing is right before it is released, but if you want to know more about the exhaust, you will see it here. All the information will be posted here, so make sure you subscribe to the channel. In today's video, I want to get on to the interior of the Raptor and what I want to do on the interior. So looking to do the steering wheel today. We have a new steering wheel here from Ranger Mods Australia, which we're going to be fitting, going to be pulling out this standard one, and the new one from Ranger Mods looks absolutely awesome. So we'll go and get out of the shed now, and I'll give you guys a look at this new steering wheel. So I think Ford's done a pretty good job on the steering wheel from factory. If you get into any sort of supercar, high performance vehicle, you can definitely feel the difference versus like a standard steering wheel. With the high performance vehicles usually have an Alcantara, carbon fiber accents, and the fit and finish is very nice on the steering wheel. And it's also the feeling in your hand and how it feels to hold and to steer. And yeah, the Raptor steering wheel is great for a factory option, but I think that the new Ranger Mod ones that I've chosen is just a lot nicer in the hand, and just an all-round better looking fit and finish steering wheel over the factory one here. Okay, so here is the steering wheel. Another mod we're also going to be doing is the remote start key fob. So we're going to be switching out the standard key fob for the double tap remote start one that Ranger Mods has also sent me. So this is the steering wheel here. I've been hanging to get this thing fitted up to the vehicle, but unfortunately, yeah, have not had the Raptor for close to 2 months now. So how sick is that? So we've got the carbon fiber, the Alcantara around the outside. Just the feeling of this in your hand just feels so nice. I love the feeling of Alcantara. The only thing with Alcantara, you got to watch, you got to make sure you got clean hands. You definitely don't want to be getting in this thing after work and putting grubby, dirty hands over the Alcantara and getting it all kind of dirty and stuff. So, but how sick is that thing? So we are going to go through the whole process of removing the steering wheel. Really suggest to get a professional to do this. I'm going to be doing it myself today. I've done enough steering wheels over my life of having different vehicles that it's kind of a no-brainer. But if you have any doubt, definitely get a professional to do this install for you, so you know everything's done correctly. Plus you are messing with safety features of the vehicle, so highly recommend to get a professional to do the install for you. Okay, with the Ranger Raptor steering wheel, same as the Rangers, in the back here you do have the clips that you have to pop out in order to get the airbag out just here. We're going to pop the bonnet. We're going to disconnect the battery. Just going to pull off the terminal. Just make sure that, like, when you take the terminal off, it's not going to kind of bounce back and touch that. So I normally put a rag over that just to protect it, so that way nothing's going to go back and it's not going to creep back up and earth out again. So now that's disconnected. We're going to check that the Raptor's got no power inside the cab before we go pull on the airbag. Normally wait probably 10 minutes, like disconnect the battery, wait 10 minutes, so that way there's no power left in any modules or anything like that throughout the vehicle. Make sure everything's dead first before you go pulling the airbag. Okay, so what we're going to do is move all this exterior trim here around the steering column, and then we're going to go ahead and pop our airbag out of our steering wheel. If you also don't have one of these, highly suggest getting one. My daughter bought me this for my birthday. Absolutely awesome for removing interior trims and stuff. So there is one more screw. There's one more screw just down here. Just push the steering wheel up and you should be able to get to that. Don't lose your screws. I'm just going to disconnect our stop button just there. So you can put this aside. I'll try and bring these in here to show you where the clips are. So this hole here, you just want to get a screwdriver and you just want to release the clip. If I can show you. Just inside there, inside this hole, there's clips in there for retaining the airbag. So you just want to pull them out, flathead screwdriver on the top and one on the bottom as well. And then your airbag will come out. Okay, so once you get the airbag out, so I've just got a flathead screwdriver here. Essentially what you're prying down on is these pins here. So you're pushing them down from the backside through those access holes that I showed you. So you'll push one down and then kind of hold it out with your finger, reach around, push the other one out, and then once it comes out, you're going to remove the yellow cable just here. So you've got the yellow cable and the white cable, both connected. Yellow's in here, white's in here. Remove your airbag. Okay, so this is how we've got the steering wheel positioned. Now that the airbag's out, we're going to go ahead and remove this plug just here. And then we're going to undo our Torx bit, and we're just going to feed these wires back through the steering wheel. So this white one here will come with the wheel. This yellow one here will stay for the airbag, and we'll feed it back out through here as we remove the steering wheel back. So I'm going to go ahead now and get my Torx bit, undo this. I'm going to unplug this connector just here with the screwdriver, pull it out. So a little trick if you don't have someone else to help you undo the steering wheel, but I usually jam my legs against the bottom of the wheel so that way the wheel can't turn and push up, and then that'll give me enough resistance to be able to then undo the Torx bit. So I'll go ahead now and I'll take this off. Take your time with this, don't rush it, because you do have a lot of sensitive components in the steering wheel. You've also got your clock spring. If you don't know what a clock spring is, I'll show you here in a second once I get this off. Okay, so we've got our Torx bit bolt just there. We'll just set these aside. Then we're going to remove the steering wheel. And you can see that clock spring moving just on the back there. So we definitely want that clock spring to stay right there, like so. And essentially what we're going to do is we're going to be putting the steering wheel back on this same way once we get all the new get all the controls and stuff moved over. There's a lot of Torx bits and stuff in here. I've got to obviously move the paddles over and bits and pieces, but all this shrouding and stuff needs to go onto the new wheel as well. So a little bit to do, but we'll go out to the tailgate and we'll put all this stuff on. But I'll give you a look at the clock spring. Okay, so this device here is a clock spring. Do not turn this in any which way direction. You don't want to turn this when the wheel's off, because then you'll lose its position. So basically there's electrical connectors, contact points inside this that send all the electrical signals through your steering wheel when you're using the volume, changing the track, using cruise control. This sends all the signals through this to the rest of the car for whatever function you're trying to do. So the trouble is this can only spin so many ways one way and so many ways the other way, and you can destroy the ribbon inside these. I've actually done it myself before. So yeah, do not touch this, do not spin it. You want to put the steering wheel straight back on. Don't let anyone play in your vehicle messing around with this thing. So definitely want to keep the clock spring dead centered to where you took it off. So a bit of a look at the wheels kind of side by side. Overall circumference on both the wheels is pretty much the same all the way down to probably about here, so towards the bottom side of the steering wheel. And obviously you can see the Ranger Mods one fattens out there at the bottom for that squared off bottom rather than just the round section there. So I definitely do like the feeling of this wheel better than the standard one in the hand. I've got pretty big hands and it feels really nice to hold on to, especially with the Alcantara. But for the most part they're pretty much identically the same size. This one just fattens out here at the edges. The top circumference is the same size as the other one. So I'm going to go ahead now and start stripping down this standard steering wheel. So you're going to need some Torx bits and whatnot. Get this stripped down and get everything fitted up to the new wheel. Okay, so we've got both steering wheels here laid out. Both are disassembled completely. We're going to go ahead now and start reassembling all of our bits and pieces onto the new steering wheel. Okay, so pretty much repeating our process. Again, don't let your kids be sitting in the car spinning with this thing. Make sure the car's shut. So we've got our clock spring. We did remove the steering wheel from this position, so that's the position we're going to be put it back in. So our airbag cable comes through here. And we're going to keep that clock spring, set it onto there. Give it a little bit of a wiggle. So the center of the wheel here is keyed. So I've just put some Loctite, just a tiny bit on this nut. There already is a ton already on it, so from the factory. But now we're going to just tighten this down. Again, I'm going to use my knees while I do tighten it. Push up against the bottom of the wheel. Okay, so we've got our airbag here. So we're going to go ahead and reconnect both of our plugs. So we have our, this has a certain way it needs to go. Just like that. I'm going to get our white one, plug our white one in. Just like so. Turn it around. Make sure everything is lined up. And then you want to just push and click in, and you'll hear it. You'll hear both sides click in. Now your horn airbag is all back reassembled. Now we're going to put the trim pieces and stuff around the dash back together. So we've got our bottom section down here, our top section. We'll go ahead, put our start stop button back together. Gonna match up our bottom section here with the top section. Going to reconnect our battery. Everything's turning back on. I didn't hear a loud airbag explosion, which is good. That would be bad, wouldn't it? Not a bad little kit there from DeWalt. Pretty good. Just kind of all your little sockets that you need for your interior and stuff like that. Okay, so we've got the remote start key that Ranger Mods have sent me as well, which is another option you can get from these guys. So it does have instructions here, it's pretty detailed. It's a Raptor key, but it does have the double click. Instead of using your phone like on the app, you can just use the double start here. Okay, so the first part of the instructions says, before programming, you must disable the auto hold feature if you have it enabled. I don't know if I have that enabled, but we'll check. Insert the original key into the center console backup slot as shown as image. So in your center console, just down here, I've just emptied all my crap out of there, but just down there, it says to insert the original key, so the key that come with your car. Turn the ignition on for 5 seconds, but no more than 10 seconds. Turn the ignition off and remove the key from the center console slot. Within 10 seconds of turning off the ignition, insert your second original key in the center console slot. Repeat step 2, turn the ignition on for 5 seconds, but no more than 10 seconds. Turn the ignition off and remove the second key. Between 3 seconds and 10 seconds of turning the ignition off, remove the previously coded key and insert the new one program key. It's obviously the new one that you've just sent you. Turn the ignition from off to on once, keeping the ignition on for at least 6 seconds. If successful, the indicator should flash. Remove the newly programmed coded key. If the new key fob has been successfully programmed, it will start the vehicle's engine by pressing the unlock button twice, followed by a double press of the start button on the fob. If unsuccessful, try again. So I'm going to go ahead, there's a fair few steps here, so I'm going to go ahead and do this. Okay, so pretty cool. So pretty straightforward. Basically, you're doing the sequences of putting a key in for 5 seconds, turning the ignition on, turning it off. Go through the steps. It's a bit hard to explain over video, but go through the steps to explains how to actually do it. You do have to have your spare key as well, so the other spare that comes with it. So essentially go through the steps, and yeah, my indicator's flashed, so now I can unlock, lock, and I can start the Raptor from the key. So just fire it up. How good's that? And then I've slid the actual cut key out of my original key into this one. But yeah, it's way better than the app. Getting on the app, it's kind of, there's like a 10-second delay when you're trying to start your car via the app for it to connect to the cell tower and everything. So having it on the key fob is pretty good. So that's the steering wheel now installed on the Raptor. It looks absolutely sick. I love it. The double tap there to be able to start your Raptor. Links for both of those I'll have down in the description from Ranger Mods. I think they're going through a bit of a branding transition at the moment, but all the current links will be down in the description for you guys to check that stuff out and be able to grab a steering wheel. I've lost the Raptor again. It's gone to another shop, so when it comes back, we'll be doing sound deadening and also UHF install and a few other cool bits and pieces that I've got for the interior of the Raptor. So stay tuned for that video. The channel's been a little bit quiet, but I do have close to 6 videos already edited, ready to go up on the channel. There's just a time frame that I have to get this stuff out. So there's so much content coming right up towards Christmas. So make sure you like, subscribe, all that good stuff. But yeah, we've got some really cool stuff coming with the Raptor. The F-Truck's about to make a return as well on the channel. That thing is so close to being finished and it looks absolutely awesome. So that's all from me, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. See you later.